This is my homemade version of a Subway meatball sub, but the meat is made from chickpeas, and it's really good. Let me show you how I made it. First, we need 1 can of chickpeas. Now we're gonna be draining the liquid and saving that liquid. That's aquafaba. It's really gonna help keep this juicy and kind of bind everything together. Now I only need a half a cup of liquid for this. We're gonna be saving that half a cup of liquid and mixing it with 2.5 tablespoons of flaxseed. Just gonna mix that up and then set that aside. Now let's toss the chickpeas into a food processor. I'm just gonna pulse those up real quick. You can get them to kind of like this, kind of like ground kind of texture here. And then we're gonna be adding about a half tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon onion powder, a teaspoon Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon dried parsley, and I'm gonna add in some chili flakes just to kind of up the flavor a bit. Now, along with that, we're gonna need to up the savory element. So we're gonna be doing about a 1/4 teaspoon of MSG. Now, if you don't want to use that, you can also use some mushroom seasoning. I think that's going to work really well. Now, we also need a big pinch of salt and a few really good cracks of fresh black pepper. Along with that, I'm going to be using a tablespoon of nutritional yeast, and to start the binding of this, about a half teaspoon of xanthan gum. Now, I'm going to add some of the fresh ingredients, which is going to be 1 clove of minced garlic, 1/4 of a yellow onion minced, and a small handful of parsley. Now just pulse that all together until it seems nice and pulsed. We're gonna add a half of a cup of breadcrumbs, pulse, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. Now we just need to add in our flax aquafaba mixture, pulse that together until it kind of starts to look like the consistency of really smooth ground meat. Now at this point, you should be able to pull a little bit out, roll it into a really soft ball. It's gonna be pretty soft. If you can get that rolled in, good. If it's way too sticky, this is gonna be sticky, but if it's way too sticky, add in a little bit more breadcrumbs, or you could just use some like flour. Now at this point, I have the oven preheated for 450 degrees. We're just gonna roll them out into, pretty good looking meatballs here. I know what you're gonna say. I already can see the comments. These are not falafel. Very different. Just toss them in the oven. We're gonna let these bake for about 25 to 30 minutes, turning them over about halfway through, about 10 to 15 minutes in, which is actually plenty of time for me to tell you about today's sponsor. I've used today's sponsor, BetterHelp, for anxiety and stress for about the last 2 years, and it's made an incredible difference in my quality of life. Starting therapy can be hard. The right therapist may not be in your area, and some people find the face-to-face interaction of therapy uncomfortable. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. With BetterHelp, you can have your therapy session as a phone call, as a video chat, or even messaging if you prefer. It's honestly whatever's the most comfortable for you. Personally, I use video chat. They can match you to one of over 30,000 therapists in their network, and over 4 million people have used BetterHelp to start living a healthier and happier life. Now, if your therapist your first match with doesn't feel like the right fit, which is very common in therapy, you can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost without stressing about insurance, who's in your network, or anything like that. I know when I first started, I didn't really click with my first therapist, and I switched, and I'm so glad I did. To get started, you'll just fill out a questionnaire to help assess your specific needs, and then you'll get matched with your therapist in most cases within 48 hours or less. Just visit betterhelp.com/Saucestache. Then you'll be able to schedule your therapy sessions at a time that's convenient for you. If you think you might benefit from therapy, consider BetterHelp. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/Saucestache. Clicking that link helps support this channel, and it also gets you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. BetterHelp, thanks for sponsoring today's video and for providing such an incredible service. Okay, it's been about a half an hour and the meatballs are done baking. They are nice and crispy on the outside, but they're still really soft in the middle. To take care of that, I'm going to toss them into a nice freezer-proof container, throw them in the freezer to chill while we prep our sauce. That's going to firm these up. Now first, we need to toss a large saucepan over a medium-high heat and add about a tablespoon of olive oil. While that's heating up, I'm going to mince up a clove of garlic and about a half of a yellow onion, and I'm going to mince that pretty fine. Now we just need to toss the onion and the garlic into the pan, mix around, and allow that to soften up. Once it's soft, we're just going to add in the sauce. Subway uses passata, which is pretty much just a strained, uncooked tomato puree. It's pretty much just super fine tomato puree. Now we need about 2 cups of that, and then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of dried Italian herbs, a big pinch of salt, about a teaspoon of sugar, chili flakes, and a tablespoon of dried parsley. Just going to mix that up, give it a taste. If you've ever had a Subway meatball, you know this flavor. This is spot on. Now we just need to add in our chilled chickpea meatballs, still not falafel. I'm just going to add them and kind of turn them, because once they're cooked up, I don't want to disturb them that much. These are gonna be fairly soft, but they'll be dense enough to feel good in your mouth once it's a sandwich. Now we just need to cover it up, let that heat together. Now while those are heating up, I'm gonna preheat the oven for 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna slice a bun in half. The meatballs should be pretty hot at this point. I'm just gonna gently load the buns up with these vegan meatballs. I'm gonna throw some vegan mozzarella, I'm using Daya, just right over the top. Toss these into the oven and let them cook and let that marinara, let that cheese melt and everything toast together. And boom, you have yourself a pretty tasty Subway chickpea meatball sandwich. I mean, I am so excited about this, but let's see what Monica has to say. Have you ever had a Subway meatball sub?
No.
So we have nothing to reference this off of. Okay, I have.
This feels really hot. Is this gonna be a hot bite?
It's gonna be a hot bite. It's gonna be a little hot, but it'll be okay. Okay, we got this. We've bitten into hotter.
All right, here we go.
Cheers.
It's good. It tastes like what I would expect a meatball sub to taste like. Very like tomatoey, like tomato-based sub.
Yeah. Tomato-based sub.
Yeah, like if it was like you had taken the spaghetti and the meatballs out of the spaghetti and meat sauce and put it in here.
That's a meatball sub?
But with no spaghetti noodles.
So, I mean, did you, okay. I asked if you ever had a Subway meatball sub, but did you eat a lot of meatball subs?
I only started eating meatball subs like after college.
Okay.
And I maybe had like one or two because shortly after college, like I became vegan.
So I grew up with the Subway meatball sub.
Okay.
So to me, this is like hitting home.
Oh, good. Yeah, this is really good. I'm really enjoying it. The meatball is a little soft.
It is soft, and I knew that.
But I mean, I think that it just makes it like a really good, it just makes it like all really good flavors kind of all put together, you know? Like it's very flavorful. The bread to the meatball, the tomato, just all melts in your mouth.
Yeah. The cheese is good. The sauce is spot on. I think the flavorings of the meatball, the chickpea meatball, the nut falafel is really good. I'm saying not falafel because it's not falafel.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I'm enjoying the heck out of it. To me, this is a great Subway meatball sub without using any sort of like Beyond or Impossible meat. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, but sometimes it's like used for everything. So it's good to make it out of something else.
Yeah, I really just enjoy doing these like chickpea recipes.
Yeah, I really like the like tomato flavor that you have on here. It's not too like sweet or bitter or anything like that. It's just just right. And there's kind of a kick to it. Did you put some spiciness in it?
Yeah, there's a little bit of chili flakes in it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a kick, which is nice.
All in all, Subway meatball sub out of chickpeas, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
Okay. I'll probably give it like a 7.
Okay.
Just because I don't know that meatball sub would ever be my thing.
I know, I'm sure it's not.
But 7 is higher than 5.
Yeah, well, this is my thing. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. Obviously, I'm enjoying the heck out of it.
It's really good.
Okay, this is not our dinner.
Okay.
We're gonna get a nicer dinner for you.
Thank you.